a new school of journalism, because I was the first private individual to go through garbage in order to spy on somebody. Prior to that, the FBI and CIA routinely did it on people that they were interested in.
There was this incredible interest in him. You know, the Beatles are broken up, the Stones are in tax exile, the new breed of sort of Bowie and Springsteen hadn't yet broken through. So it was, you know, there was this incredible interest in Dylan, and nobody knew where he was. You know, he'd rumoured to have been in Woodstock, then he moved back to Greenwich Village, but he wasn't making records, he wasn't doing any announced shows. There was an intensity of interest in him, and that is, you know, the ultimate extreme of that is A.J. Webberman going to his dustbin. I mean, Webberman's like the über-fan. I mean, he's the Bob Dylan fan just right out on the margins, you know. He's the intensity of interest, the obsession with Dylan is, I mean, it's stalking, you know, it's what's known now celebrity stalking.
Absolutely, positively, without the slightest equivocal doubt, beyond reasonable doubt. It was an invasion of privacy. But, you know, Dylan thought it was someone who was trying to kidnap his kids and trying to clock his movements. So he set up a surveillance camera and was relieved when he found it was me. You know, because he knew that I wasn't going to do any violence to him. You know, but he considered doing violence to me. He seriously considered getting the mob to do a hit on me. And, you know, he'd just jokingly say all the time, "Hey, man, you want to go for a ride?" I said, "Where are we going to go?" He said, "We're going to go down to the piers in Brooklyn."
Weberman, unable to find his Rosetta Stone, decided to launch a new attack on Dylan. He formed the Bob Dylan Liberation Front, criticising the singer's departure from overt left-wing politics and the protest song.
Dylan had written a lot of radical songs. You know, I listened to them and I believed them, and I believed in the message that he was transmitting. And, you know, he did, during the Civil Rights Movement, he did come out and play in Mississippi and at the Civil Rights March. And, you know, he seemed to be behind what he wrote. But later on, when the Vietnam War began, you know, Dylan just refused to come out and be political and, you know, appear at anti-Vietnam War marches or stand behind what he wrote. You know, and I felt that genocide was going down against the Vietnamese, that something had to be done about it.
Dylan at first considered this to be an overblown joke, but when Webberman began releasing negative articles, he decided to meet him. He was shocked to learn that Webberman had later called his office, claiming that he had taped their meeting. Dylan's return phone call is now a bizarre artifact in popular music history.
You called me on?
Yeah.
So about some tape. What tape was that?
No, I didn't take any tape. What I did was I typed out my recollections of our conversation together. And I'm going to use it as an interview. I'm going to send it out to every underground paper in America for free, rather than selling it to...
You didn't tell me that was any interview.
Didn't you?
Hey, man, you want to have an interview with me? Let me know, I'll give you an interview. Don't take...
Okay, fine.
You know, that's sneaky shit, man.
What kind of sneaky shit, man?
I mean, you come and talk to somebody and type it up, right?
But you know I'm a cat who writes about, who specializes in writing about you.
Yeah, man, I understand that, but, you know, if you want to have an interview, we can have an interview above the table, you know? And, you know, just keep it on top of the table, that's all I'm talking about.
Today, if any major star was suffering this kind of harassment, there would be cease and desist orders, or maybe the security would just rough the guy up. What did Dylan do? He rang Weberman up. Wanted to discuss with him what was going on. Very, very interesting that he was actually prepared to engage with this guy and talk it through with him and give him an interview, in fact. Very odd.
After his initial hesitancy, Webberman went on the offensive.
Oh, you don't stand by anything you say, man.
Sure I do. Sure I do.
I just don't dig at your old songs, man, that's for sure.
Man, I'm going to do an article on you, man. I think I want to write a song about you, too.
Well, I could use the publicity.
Yeah, well, that's one reason why I wish it, man. But I got a good song, man, if I ever want to do one.
What's it called?
It's called Pig.
I'm a pig, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, bullshit.
Yeah, man.
You're the one who's a pig.
Oh, no, not at all.
Oh,
Not at all, man. Not at all. I can't believe you, Webberman. I just can't believe you. You tap phones. You go through garbage like a pig. You do a lot of things, man. We should start really on the up and up.
Yeah.
No, man, you're not on the up and
No,
up.
you pick all these things up. But what did I do with it, man, today? You see, I may have gone through garbage, man, but I didn't sell it to Life magazine. I didn't sell you garbage to Life magazine.
You think Life magazine's gonna buy my garbage?
I haven't printed it up yet, man. I made a book out of it.
Webberman hit a nerve when ironically comparing Dylan to the folk singers who were still making protest songs.
They're writing songs about what's going down now. That's nowhere. That's a bunch of assholes do that kind of shit, man. What you got to do is write songs like what went down 30 years ago in the fucking escapist music industry. That's where it's at, man. Because people dying, being fucked up is really a good thing. They may not know it, they may not understand it when it's happening to them, but it's really a good thing, and we should let it happen. And, the last thing in the world that you want to do is say something about it. Because then people might, begin to think. You don't want that to happen, because when people begin to think, maybe they'll stop buying your records. Your later records,
That's gonna make me think.
The affair came to a close when Webberman frightened Dylan's family while investigating their garbage, and the singer resorted to violence, giving the journalist a well-earned beating.
I got my comeuppance. And it was pretty funny because, I was lying there and I kind of got off and dusted myself off, and these bums, it was on the Bowery, and these bums came over to me and they said, "Did he get much money, man?" I says, "What do you mean? That was Bob Dylan, man. He doesn't have to come down to the Bowery and roll hippies. He's a millionaire." And then I got a wine bottle and went to the corner, and Dylan was stopped at a light, and I says, "I'm gonna get this Mother Brooklyn style, dirty fighting and street fighting, So I took the bottle and I said, "I'm gonna hit him with this bottle and knock him off that bike." And then I said, "No, I can't do this." I says, "I did wrong, and, I got what I deserved." And Dylan, he came upon me, even though he got me from behind. He waited before he did anything. He waited till I turned around, and, and then I just walked off.
Although there was a comical resolution to this affair, Dylan subsequently seemed to respond to Webberman's criticisms. He recorded and released George Jackson, a single that returned to the protest tradition of Hattie Carroll and Emmett Till, and in August 1971 decided to play at the Concert for Bangladesh in Madison Square Gardens. Organised to raise both awareness and funds for a people threatened by starvation and civil war, it was a triumphant return to the live arena.
At the Concert for Bangladesh, he looked comfortable on a stage again. At the Isle of Wight, he'd looked deeply uncomfortable. It was a poor performance, lasted barely an hour. I think he felt very comfortable with George Harrison. They were good friends, they'd hung out together in Woodstock, they'd written songs together, If Not For You, which appeared on the New Morning album. So I think George helped. Eric Clapton was on the bill. I mean, he felt he was surrounded by friends. But I think the key thing about that performance is just Dylan feeling comfortable on stage again, because he had clearly lost that. He'd made very, very few live appearances since 1966.